ask you a question real quick. Hold on before you sneak out of here.
You can ask. But...
So the part where he said, "You are below and I'm above." They were making a big ruckus about it. They made me go and get the tablet, and then I was going to start drawing, and then I thought, no, Papa doesn't like my charts. They get too confusing. Yeah. I want to know if they're talking about like within our body or within our like when. What was the part that they were saying?
Jesus was saying that you are the children of the devil, referring to the Pharisees.
So does that mean that anybody that lives in their lower self is a child of the devil? Is what I want to ask them.
That's what Jesus is saying.
Okay.
And in your words, you're saying that when you rise up to the heart level, you have gotten out of the lower chakras, you've moved up to the higher chakras, and you have now become a child of the Father.
Peter goes, okay. He goes, Luke, and he like flicked Luke.
Oh, okay.
Luke's tiny. I don't know why Luke's so tiny. Luke's tiny, and he's so loud and boisterous. But Peter walked in, he went. Peter goes, I got this. Peter's huge right now. I've never seen him so big.
We love Peter, and everybody out there that watches my shows on this story know how I feel about Peter.
Anyone that comes to my classes knows that Peter's
the fun guy. He's the fun guy. John is the scientist, and he's very gruff. Even though he was the youngest.
Don't even mention him, or Rosemary's going to end up here.
Yeah, that's right.
Rosemary's going to be, oh my God. Oh, great. I mentioned her. Now she's here.
Oh, boy.
She has no teeth. Her teeth are so bad.
Imagine they didn't have dentists in those days.
You're right. They didn't have dentists, so how could they have pearly whites?
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
I just saw her like what she really looks like, and her teeth are just so like, oh, Rosemary, I'm sorry. She's like, she got irritated with me. She says, at least my teeth aren't fake.
Well,
like,
you have to explain to people. Let me explain. Rosemary was a groupie of Jesus.
Yeah.
And she was badly persecuted by her father and uncles, and they sold her into slavery, sex slavery. So she very quietly followed around Jesus and got to know all the Gospels, or all the apostles. So in our book, the eight greatest authors, Rosemary pops in from time to time because she brings us sort of like a subjective view of her view of what they are, not really objective at all, but pretty well subjective. And it's fun to get her take on the different apostles or the different authors that she came across.
She thinks Jesus is hot.
Yeah, she always thinks Jesus was hot. And he was. He even said in our book that he had to be that way. He had to have charisma, and he had to have good looks.
People
Otherwise,
don't like to look at people that aren't good looking. Is what he said or something.
Yeah, I mean, that was God's way. God decided Jesus was going to look a certain way and have a certain amount of charisma, because who's going to follow somebody who's dry and look like Paul? Paul with his crooked teeth and his flat head.
One arm.
Yeah, but people did listen to Paul. So anyway, I'll let you wrap up.
Okay. All right. So what they're saying is, when Jesus was talking about the down below and above, and they're saying the last passages that you read, like the if you don't follow me, you won't be with the Father, or whatever.
Right.
It's taken a little bit. Was made more human by the men that wrote it. Right. What he was saying was,
don't forget, they wrote this all long after Jesus was gone.
True.
So they had to remember. And I think, and even Jesus has told us many times that the authors and the scribes kind of added to things, and then even Constantine had taken the written words of the scribes from the apostles or the authors, and even mixed them up and changed them and added some things to it. And they were really pissed about that. When we were talking to, here I am, when we were doing our sessions with Jesus and those authors. No, I'm going to let you get back in here. Most of them were pissed that their words had been changed, but they didn't want to put down the Bible. They never did, because even in his own way, Constantine was trying to keep everything on a positive note. And sometimes if he felt something wasn't positive enough, they would go ahead and add something to it. So that's pretty much it. Okay, Marisa, you take over.
So what they're saying is that when he says, if you aren't following me, you're not with the Father, and you'll die, and all this stuff. They made it sound very absolute.
Yeah.
He keeps calling Christ the eye in the sky, like the sun, that also lies within you. It says that Christ is the eye in the sky that also lies within you. For when you can see through the eye in the sky, when you see through Christ's eye, you'll see life completely different. You'll see life has changed instantly. You'll see something that you are angry about, something that is barren in your life, and you'll see it full. You'll see it fulfilled with your fullest desires. For when you can see through my eye, and this is what I was speaking of at that time, when you can see through my eye, you will have no desire to see through the eye of sin. The eye of sin is the eye that lies outside of the path in which has been carved out for you by the Father. The Father lies within each and every single one of you. The Father, just like as we've spoken of before, like a walkie-talkie, or like he's sitting in a computer box, like a screen that's playing something on the television. It's playing inside your mind, and your mind is wanting to duplicate this out and do what is being told of you to do. You're wanting to copy it. But when you take yourself, when you take your eye out into the worldly things, out into desiring this or wanting that, or wanting this woman or that woman, but they're already someone else's, or wanting that man, but he's already someone else's, your eye is going into that, giving that light. And therefore, you are receiving the darkness within. And that darkness within will allow you to stray off your path. Desiring somebody or something, someone, a place that is not in the interest of your soul is something that will take you outside of yourself, and therefore give you the inability to see through my eye, Christ's eye. When you can see through the eyes of Christ, you will see nothing but compassion for others. You will not think that another person is stupid. You will say, oh, they don't think the same way I think. You won't say, they're stupid, I hate them. You'll say, I have compassion for them because they don't feel safe, or they don't feel worthy of believing a certain thing, or they're scared. Everything today, remember, people, is about safety. Everyone wants to feel safe. Everybody wants to feel safe when they're here. They want to feel safe and know that they're going somewhere where they're safe. Many people are dying, feeling unsafe, and therefore ending up in unsafe worlds on the other side. And this is what I spoke of below. Below the, we'll just say your higher self's soul chamber, which lies right in here, where you would say the Adam's apple is on a man, but right here, he's pointing right here. Right in the throat. When people die not knowing how to see through my eye, how to see through the eye of the Son, eye of Christ, this is when there is pity on the soul by that which is me, us, the councils on this side. However, that just means that that consciousness still is on its journey, and it will continue on through its journey, just not on this planet right now. They'll continue on through different worlds, different places, different spaces. And just as they say, I walked 40 days and 40 nights through, did you walk through a forest, or a desert for 40 days and 40 nights?
No, he was up on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights.
Oh, he waits for them on the mountain. He said, just as they say, and he said, and I said, wait, no, that's a person. I see a person dying, and I see them literally going through a desert for 40 days and 40 nights, making it to him. And
it was during those 40 days when Jesus confronted the devil.
Okay, well, that's what, okay, oh, that's when he confronted the devil? Was he going through the desert, or he waited?
No, he's up on the mountain.
Okay, so what he's showing is when people die...
Mount Gerizim?
Gerizim, okay.
Or it was Mount Hebron? One of those two. Mount Gerizim
it's not
or Mount
either one.
Hebron.
Well, he's saying it wasn't either one of those then.
Okay. Well, it was on a mount.
He's calling it what we call the prayer platform. In my classes, we call it the prayer platform. He says it's there within our bodies, that people will get lost inside of themselves when they die, and they won't cross over, they won't leave. They'll still be stuck inside of like their dead body, and that's where like Satan will feed off of their energy, their light, as long as he can. And that's that desert that he says, this is the desert that I speak of. A soul is given 40 days and 40 nights to make it through the desert of their creation to me, so that they may ascend and enter into the gates of heaven. Many will go there instantly, but many these days are staying down in the lower parts of themselves, and they're stuck in that desert trying to find their way out. You can pray for these individuals, but they likely will not hear, because they cannot hear anything or see anything. All they can see is the fact that they are lost, and they get even more scared. So finding a way to see through the eyes of Christ, through the eyes of forgiveness and compassion. Being a good person is one thing. Understanding and knowing how to live inside of Christ, in and on Christ, within you, for you all have it in you. living in it and on that, living in that ability to transcend all human emotion and meet anger with forgiveness, meet sadness with encouragement. It's a fully graduated emotional being is what a Christ being is. And you have that in you. It's in you. Many people are just hanging off of it, and they're over in all these different places, scattered throughout all of their memories, all their realities, and all their distortions, and everything that they've made up in their mind that their life is. So today, if you want to give up the old emotions, give up the old feelings, give up all the old stories, just ask me, Christ, to become illuminated within you so that you can find me. Ask me to show myself to you, not Jesus, Christ. Ask that the light of Christ be revealed to you within you so that you can feel it. It may be a centimeter wide, it may be your entire body, but you will feel something, a tinge of something within you, because I am within you. This is Christ speaking. And when you can begin to connect with this piece of you inside of you, your brain will start to think differently. Your thoughts will come in differently. You won't think of the old things. You'll just think of the present. You won't worry about the future. You'll think of the present, and you'll appreciate who you are, what you are, why you are, and you won't care about where you're going. You'll just know that I am taking you where you need to go. I am the light. I am the truth. I am the way. And understanding and knowing this, you won't worry about your surroundings. You won't worry about your town. You won't worry about your country. You won't worry about the world. You won't worry about where it's going, because you'll know that you are within me. And no matter what happens with this world, you will continue on moving forward in whatever it is that you want to create in your reality. And that it means being with your loved ones, seeing people that you've lost in the past, but understanding and knowing that when you are me, we are all one there. But then, again, as you move on beyond Christ consciousness, you enter into your own creator God consciousness, but we will not go into that. Most people are below, living in the below right now, because they're believing what the television box says, what they say. And even if it's for one side or another, there's fear coming in from both sides. There's fear, no matter what, no matter how enlightened you feel you are because you watch something that is not a mainstream outlet of information, it's still coming in from all directions. If it's not right in front of your face, happening in front of you, you cannot know its truth. You cannot know it's real. So do not allow your emotions to be hinged on it. Do not allow your emotions to be hinged on anything, and do not allow yourself to take out anything that you found to be true outside of yourself on your family. The children are suffering at this time. The children are suffering greatly. And what we'd ask that, this is the counsel they just come in, what we'd ask that is each individual that has a child, begin to teach them forgiveness, compassion, strength, and hope, and begin to teach them how to step outside of their fury or their anger or their madness, and ask them to just step into the golden yellow ball that lives inside of them. Prior to age 12, everyone's consciousness is a Christ consciousness. It's a golden ball of light. Ask them to find that within them, and ask them to pull it into their heart, and they will immediately and instantly not need to understand anything. They'll just know, because these kids are, just as you have said, these kids are amazing. They're already connected to me, but they are being turned into the Antichrist, because they are being put in fear, and they're being made afraid of everything around them. So teach them safety. It's all about safety. It's all about safety. When someone feels safe, they can conquer the world with whatever they want. If they do not feel safe, they can't do anything. They're petrified. So what I bring to each of you today is a wave of safety, a wave of understanding, and a wave of knowing that everything's going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. We would go much deeper into this. We'll go in deeper when we're not on camera, because some people will take this wrong, but we'll allow Joe to report it tomorrow if he wants to. They're going to go deeper into the what are you talking about, Peter? He says, oh, there's a lot. He says, but people will misunderstand the safety and the way the world's going and what's going to happen and all that, because they're going back into John's revelations.
Yeah.
But Peter is giving his account.
That's good. We like Peter.
I love Peter.
I love Peter too.
He says, I love me too.
Well, we're all supposed to love ourselves anyway. He's just a little more out front about it.
Yeah, he is. Peter's something. He says, I'm the rock, but his name means rock. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's why it was changed from Simon to Peter.
Yeah, he's the rock.
Peter means rock.
Yeah. He says, I have lots to say. And he says, and Jesus here, and he smacks Jesus in the back. He's like, Jesus and him are the same size today.
As I've told you guys before, Jesus and Peter are really goofy.
They are really funny.
Together,
yeah.
They're really funny. And they, I've said before, our pastors make Jesus sound like everything was so dour and sad and dark and just.
And Peter's like he was a dead little lamb.
But they used to have a lot of fun together, and they had good senses of humor. So anyway, we love Peter. Of course, we love Jesus as well.
Jesus is funny.
So anyway, anything else to add to today?
No, they just wanted to, he just wanted to explain the seeing through his eyes rather than being him. Like asking to live in Christ or be inside Christ, because we all have a little, look at like the Russian dolls, like in our books, we have, the bowls or whatever. Mm-hmm. Just look at one of those bowls is Christ. And you can jump in it at any time, because unlike school where you have to go through first, second, third, fourth, sixth, like all the way through grades, he's saying that because the planet is where the planet is, we all have access to like that, the 12th grade or whatever, like our final year in high school. So we can go from first to 12th grade. We may not understand anything anyone's saying, but we'll feel safe and we'll feel what we need to feel in order to get through all the human emotions of the 12-story building where we're just feeling angry or sad or upset or jealous or rage or whatever. But he says, because the planet is where it is, and because Christ consciousness has been left on this planet, in the core of this planet, as of December of 2019, the Christ is here. The Christ consciousness is here. It may not be a person, but oh wow, Christ came. So Christ returned December of 2019. The Christ consciousness, and anybody has access to it. You can just go into it. You don't have to learn and grow and do all that stuff. You can just say, Christ, I want to be in you right now. And your Christ body, you'll go into it and your brain will think differently. I didn't know that. And then you'll just feel different. It won't even be like a progression of, oh, now I'm not mad anymore. You'll just forget that you were mad. So if you can remember to just say, I want to see through the eye of Christ, see through Christ's eyes right now. It's eye of Christ. I want to see through the eyes of the Son. Then you immediately, everything will change. That's kind of cool.
Very cool.
Trying to remember to do that though when you're all pissed off and mad at your spouse, or
yeah, it's kind of hard to do.
I want to see through Christ's eye, or I want Christ's fist so I can punch him. No, when you get really mad, it's hard to remember.
So, say bye. We'll go ahead and wrap up for today.
Yeah.
And she'll be back tomorrow. Let me finish up here. Tomorrow is Monday. We'll get started and continue on with the story. But while I'm here these 2 weeks, hopefully every day when I'm doing a show, Marisa will be here with me. You've heard me talk about Marisa many times. Many of you have done clicked on the links and seen a little bit more about who Marisa is. But it's kind of nice when the two of us get together and you can get some of an idea of how we interacted when we had sessions and ended up putting our books together. So anyway, it's fun, and I've always said, when Marissa's channeling, it's almost like she's reading a teleprompter, and she's just rapid fire, rapid fire, rapid fire. Well, you just got a good example of that, because hopefully because she does talk a little fast or whatever, and then we eventually put it into books or whatever. It sounds like it all came out nice and slow, whatever, but. Sometimes it's good to go back when you've now finished today's lesson, for all of you that made it all the way through a whole almost an hour and a half. If there's something that you think you need to go back on, just go back a few more minutes, listen to her again. What I brought was biblical accounts, and we all know that those can get a little they're different from one author to another, and they're a little different from the Urantia book and the Bible, but none of it is to demean either book, and it's not to demean what we're doing as well. So God bless all of you. I am Joe Morris. Marisa, my daughter, has so graciously come into the picture as well for the next couple weeks, and we'll do this again tomorrow. So have yourselves a great Sunday. I know Mondays are terrible, terrible days. I used to hate.
Make it a great day.
Let me just give you a little piece of advice right now. If you're the type of person that just absolutely just hates Monday, sit down tonight before you go to bed, and first thing that comes to your head, write it down. Second thing comes to your head, write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Just keep writing until you stop. Don't write a book. Make each thought in one sentence, and write it down on a pad, on a piece of paper. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Because then you're going to sleep really good. Because all that stuff that's hanging around inside your head is now on a piece of paper. And then you're going to be able to sleep very well tonight. And then you're going to get up in the morning and you're not going to feel like you're so scattered because you have to remember all those things that you were supposed to do or things that were going on in your life, because there it is. It's on a little piece of paper.
and you can check it off as you check off your duties as the day goes on. So I learned that to be very helpful for me. I just dreaded Mondays in the business I'm in, but at the same time, I would dread it all Sunday night until I got to the point where, you know what, it makes sense. Just write it down, 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 and you'll be all set. It's all set. They're there for your Monday to start, and at least it'll get you to Tuesday. Tuesday's a very productive day around the world, and it's a good day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are always really good days. So anyway, again, Joe Morris, Answers Heaven Speaks. You've met my daughter now on these stories of the ongoing story of Jesus. Have yourself a great Sunday night, and have yourself a great Monday. And
go to discoverintuition.com. We have a free meditation on there right now too, if they want a free little snow globe meditation that you and I did.
Okay, so Marissa's got if you're into meditations, just go to discoverintuition.com.
Sign up for the little newsletter, and then we're going to send that out. It's a snow globe meditation, me and my dad doing a little thing, and then there's a meditation there.
Okay, so go to discoverintuition, all one word, discoverintuition.com, and you can get yourself a free meditation. And then don't be afraid to ask for the book for free either.
And we'll send it to you. My assistant will send it to you.
Her assistant will send you a PDF if you just can't afford to get a book. Just ask for the PDF and we'll get it sent out to you.
Yeah,
all right.
For sure.
Okay. God bless all of you. Have yourself a good time, great time, and we'll catch you tomorrow, God willing. Take care.